tropical storm warning for Galveston and Harris counties now. We're tracking every move of Tropical Storm Cindy.
And lining up to get out of Bolivar, people are making their way back to Galveston, getting ready for the storm.
And see what Galveston's Beach Patrol is doing to protect the beach and keep people safe.
And we do have team coverage on Tropical Storm Cindy and the impact from the Bolivar Peninsula to Galveston. And hurricane expert Dr. Neil Frank is live in the newsroom with David Paul to give us some perspective on this storm. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Rekha Muttaraj.
And I'm Len Cannon. Brooks Garner is going to start off our coverage with a look at what is going on with Cindy right now. Brooks?
Let's talk nuts and bolts. It's a tropical storm, winds of 45 miles per hour, and it is stationary. It's not moving north, it's not moving west, it's just sitting out here. A change now, new for 4. A tropical storm warning has been issued for Harris County, also for Liberty County, Chambers County, and Galveston counties. This is in anticipation of this system coming our way over the next 24 hours. And as it does so, it'll likely arrive sometime Wednesday night. This is tomorrow night and continue through Thursday morning. East of the system, the worst impacts, but we're not out of the woods yet. Coming up, we're going to talk about the timing of when the rain and the winds arrive and what you can expect in your neighborhood based on the latest information from the National Hurricane Center.
That's a lot of red. Thanks, sir. Yeah. We'll see you. And as this storm moves toward Galveston, emergency officials, lifeguards, even tourists are getting ready.
Yeah, there are going to be some big changes on the beach. Adam Bennett is live in Galveston with more on that. So what kind of changes are we talking about, Adam?
Well, Rekha, the first change you'll see is immediately when you get to the beach. You can see these red flags behind me. They've been flying since about noon today. That is the highest warning level. And it's pretty easy to see why. If you take a look at the Gulf, the surf is getting rougher as that system moves closer and closer to shore. Now, we saw lifeguards take down the yellow warning flags, put up those reds just before 1 this afternoon. Again, that is the highest warning level. They put those up when there's higher than normal surf, and usually along with that, very strong rip currents in those waters. Now, the Beach Patrol chief told me that if this storm moves west into the San Luis Pass area, which it is right now projected to be near that area, it could mean up to 45-mile-per-hour winds on shore and push the tide up to as high as 5 feet. Now, some beachgoers this afternoon said they could literally feel the tide changing. They decided to go ahead and leave to beat the storm.
We watched the tide come in. It took a lot of our stuff and got it all wet, so we had to start moving stuff back farther. And you can feel the current really pulling you out. So that's why we're packing up now. We're trying to beat the storm.
Beach Patrol says just to be safe, they'll work through the night with heavy equipment to move all 31 of those lifeguard towers farther back from the shore. We're talking up to the seawall, even into the parking lots nearby. City crews, we're told, will also be moving hundreds of trash cans back for the very same reason, just to get it all away from that water. It could result in hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage. Now back here live at 61st and the seawall, county officials tell me that the Emergency Operations Center is fully staffed. They're also going to be calling in volunteers from the Community Emergency Response Team. I'm also told by the city here in Galveston, they're telling their employees with fleet vehicles to go ahead and fuel them up just to be ready for anything. Live here in Galveston, Adam Bennett, KHU 11 News.
All right, Adam, thank you.
Let's take a look at pictures just off Bolivar Island, northeast of Galveston. And people there just hanging out. But they're on the ferry, many islanders from Bolivar trying to get out of harm's way. Right now, Cindy, packing winds up to 45 miles per hour. It is expected to hit the Texas-Louisiana border late Wednesday night, but we'll continue to follow it. When storms take aim on the Houston area, hurricane expert Dr. Neil Frank pays us a visit.
He is the former director of the National Hurricane Center, and he's with David Paul right now in the newsroom to tell us what we can expect. Hey, David.
Hi, Rekha. Good afternoon, everybody. Doc, it's nice to see you again.
Another hurricane season.
Except that when you're here, it means we've got a storm in the Gulf.
Right.
And this one has been sheared.
Right.
It's lopsided.
Right.
It's a mess, which you pointed out makes it really difficult to deal with.
You know, from the standpoint of a meteorologist and forecasting, I would rather have a full-blown hurricane with a nice eye. I don't wish a hurricane on anybody, don't get me wrong here, but it's much easier to forecast that system than this. It's just a big mess out there, and the problem is it's got the potential for going ahead and strengthening and doing something that could do some damage.
As far as the threats right now, as it stands, the way the storm is right now, what is the biggest threat to wherever the storm passes in?
Well, you're going to have a lot of rain with this system, there's no question, and particularly over on the east side. But I don't rule out the possibility that something could form and this thing could strengthen some, and I'm not ruling out the possibility that Houston could feel a good impact on it.
We're either going to take, it looks like, either a direct hit or it's going to graze us.
Exactly.
The further east or the closer it can get to Louisiana, the lower our chances are for heavy rain. But even some of the later model runs indicate some of that rain may wrap around to the west side. So, yeah, we're not out of the woods by any means. Okay. Doc points out there are a lot of questions with how this is going to play out, and there's still a lot of uncertainty with it. So we're about done here, but Doc's not done. If you go over to Facebook Live, Tiffany Craig on KHOU's Facebook page is going to be live starting right now. And Doc's going to stick around, and you can come in, join the conversation, ask your questions, and Doc's going to stick around to answer them. So thank you for coming in. It's always reassuring to have you here.
Okay.
Really appreciate it. All right, guys, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Dave.